Hello and welcome back to Everything Tumbler Tutorials. My name is Rebecca Escott and today I'm going to show you some new vinyl from AB Designs. This beautiful collection is called Black Girl Magic and I cannot wait to show you what I'm going to do with this on a tumbler today. So these vinyl sheets are 12 by 12 and you can easily wrap a tumbler using the whole sheet, or in this case I've decided to cut out certain sections that I wanted to use for the tumbler. Once I have what I want cut out, I decide I'm going to go ahead and kind of lay it out on the tumbler just to really get a visual as to where I'm going with it. I'm going to use Unicorn, which is one of my favorite glitters from AB Designs, at the top. And then I've decided that I'm going to use Cup of Joe for the two sections where it's going to be in between the vinyl. So once we've decided where our vinyl is going to go, we're going to go ahead and get ready to place it. I'm going to start right here at the bottom, and I just am going to go right up off that rim. This will help preventing wrinkles down here at the bottom rim. So once I meet up in the back side, I'm just going to trim this with scissors. I don't do a neat job because I'm going to go ahead and lay the rest of the vinyl down, and then I will go down with the X-Acto knife to make sure that all of my back seams are straight. So for the second strip of vinyl, I'm just going to eyeball it and pretty much give myself about an inch or so here in between, which is where I'm going to glitter. Once again, for this cut, I'm simply going to overlap it. For this third strip, I'm going to go ahead and place my decal there just as a guide, basically. Once I figured out placement for this third stripe, then I'll remove the decal and proceed. Now we're going to go ahead, once again I like to use the measuring tape, helping me make sure that I have a nice straight line down the back. Once we go ahead and cut the excess vinyl, then we're going to remove it and get ready to tape it off. So now it's time to go ahead and tape off our vinyl, simply because I prefer using the spray paint method in order to apply my glitter to my tumblers. I do recommend using whatever application you prefer to apply your glitter. Now that we're all taped up, we're ready to spray paint. I'm going to do Vintage Blush down here at the bottom for the two stripes, and I'm actually going to use Clear for the top. I'm also going to use Cup of Joe, which I mentioned in the beginning, and Unicorn at the top. I do not recommend using the clear seal as it got a little wonky. You might notice it when I come back after I've spray painted. Guys, be patient and wait for whites, or just go ahead and use acrylic paint. I have zero patience and I just proceeded. As with most tumblers, this was a fixable mistake. I simply waited for this to dry and then I went ahead and resealed with clear seal the entire tumbler and went back in for another coat in both sections. Anytime you're working with a dark and a light glitter, always do your dark glitter first. So once I had my second coat of glitter applied to both sections, I allowed that to completely dry before going in and sealing it again. Once that dried, I was then ready for a coat of epoxy. Once you are satisfied with your glitter application, immediately remove your tape. I really hope you're enjoying this video so far, and if so, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more tutorials coming soon. Don't forget to click the bell to get notifications for every time I launch a new video. Once you have removed all of your tape, make sure you don't have any glitter that snuck up underneath it. If so, make sure you clean that really well before you seal it. For this first coat of epoxy, I am going to be using Fast Set from Counterculture DIY. I really want you to pay attention, as I have said this so many times before, that you really want to seal your tumblers really well after you've glittered. If you don't, you can contaminate your vinyl and or other glitters. And that's exactly what happened. My white did transfer and did contaminate some of my vinyl pieces, but at the end of the day, I wasn't mad at it. It added a little something to it, and I wasn't anticipating it, but it turned out beautiful and I loved it. However, if you do not want any of your glitter to shift and move around your tumbler, please make sure that you've sealed it really well before going on to a coat of epoxy. As with any coats of epoxy, make sure you use your heat torch to pop any bubbles you may or may not be able to see. Okay, so you already know what's going down. I am obsessed with AB Designs nail tape. And she has this beautiful metallic brown that fit so perfectly with this tumbler. I was literally so excited. So once I get the rest of the nail tape applied, we are then ready to apply the decal. This is the decal that I'm going to place onto this tumbler. It is absolutely beautiful. As with all of my Clearcast decals, I have found it to be very easy to apply a transfer tape over the decal itself to help me apply it to the tumbler. You also really want to make sure when you're using a Clearcast decal that you have a clean, non-sanded, epoxied surface. You will see the scratch marks behind this decal if it's not a fresh, clean epoxy coat. Once we're sure that our decal is applied to our tumbler, we can go ahead and remove the transfer sheet. This tumbler does not need to be sealed and is ready for another coat of epoxy. So I decided that I wanted to add one more little touch to the bottom of this tumbler. So I decided that I was going to go ahead and cut out one of the little hearts to go right in the center at the bottom of this tumbler. Once I applied this to the bottom, our tumbler was complete. So for this next coat of epoxy, I am again using the Fast Set from Counterculture DIY. This tumbler only took one final coat of epoxy and it was complete. I want to thank you so much for watching, and be sure to find me on TikTok under Rebecca Escott, Facebook at Everything Tumbler Tutorials for continued learning. Remember, all the links from this tutorial will be down in the description for you below. As with any coats of epoxy, be sure to use your heat torch to pop any bubbles you may or may not be able to see.